You guys know exactly why we are here today, and that's because I secured the bag. Well, technically a friend secured the bag, but the most important thing is I have the Satin Black Toe 1. It's your girl TJ back with another video, Talks with TJ, aka TJ Two Swoosh Chains, who's actually rocking this today. Two Swoosh crew, what is going on? It is a Saturday. It's probably an extremely stressful, frustrating Saturday for a lot of people, all surrounding one shoe, a Jordan 1. Now I feel like the Jordan 1 is always in the middle of controversy when it comes to releases lately because there's kind of some uncertainty. Will it sell and be extremely hype, or will it not? Will the hype sustain itself? Will it die down? Well, with this one, it definitely sustained itself to the point where Sneakers app went from a regular release to a draw, and even I tried to cop another pair on there and ended up taking an L trying to help a friend out, but it happens, is what it is. It's part of the game. My response came super late, so that's kind of how I knew that it was an L. I know that people had problems with the Hypebeast app, a lot of frustration with that. I've seen videos on it, I've seen posts on it, I've seen videos about, you know, finish line, having just issues when it came to the release, people thinking things were unfair. I'm terribly sorry for everyone, of course, that took an L. I'm blessed, lucky. Sneaker karma has made its way back around for the hits that I've gotten for people recently that were not in my size. You know what? It finally paid itself back, and I have a shoe now. And I will say, it wasn't as easy to cop as this one. For this pair, Nike reserved it for me in the app that Wednesday before the actual release date of the sneakers, so there was no stress for me when it came to this shoe. It was beautifully crafted. You guys can see the pebbled leather here, the tumbled leather here, and the stitched swoosh. And then on this one, it was a stitched wings logo. A little bit different though now for this sneaker. So you guys can see I am also rocking the Sneakerhead versus Hypebeast shirt from Sneakerhead's clothing line. You guys can pick that shirt up as well as a lot of other new merch that came out for the summer, but this is a pickup from Footlocker because you guys know, or if you don't know, as an employee, you can't do reservations, okay? So you gotta rely on blessings of friends to be able to get it. But here's the receipt as well, just so we know, okay? There's a receipt for it. So $160 plus tax. Shut that off and you guys can see the label right there. The women's Air Jordan 1 High OG. Retail price $160, and they have black, white, university red. So they actually do go ahead and say white. I know a lot of us are tired of the sale. So let's just go ahead and open this together. My first time seeing them in person, guys. I can say I'm not disappointed. And it has that very strong Jordan 1 smell, but here we are. So we have the satin black toe. Now we do know the black toe itself is one of the most iconic Jordan 1 colorways of all time. Now this was still on my list of sneakers to want to get in terms of just the OG, but we've seen those prices. It wasn't necessarily something I wanted to pay right now, so they blessed the women with this. Now I went with my actual size, which is a women's 7.5. Exact same thing with this one. If you all are not aware of the way women's sizing works, they do fit a little bit bigger. The centimeter conversion is a little bit different. So for women's pairs, they actually tend to have a little bit more space, which is awesome because they're a lot more comfortable for me to wear around all day. Now that satin is different than the satin that was on here. I'm just going to be 100% honest. It's a little bit different just in terms of feel and texture. To me, this is more of a ribbed satin. That's exactly how I would describe it. It's a ribbed satin versus this is more of just a glossy satin here. The swoosh itself is not stitched. I might as well just keep this shoe up here. I'm gonna keep showing comparisons. The swoosh is not stitched, or it's not kind of that thread material there. It's actually just a traditional leather swoosh. Now, I like the change in the wings logo. The fact that it is an actual metal applique that is on there versus just this being stitched. I just think it adds an extra touch, shows they went above and beyond. If we look at the tongues, now instead of the tongue being satin like on the Satin Chapter backboard, instead it's just a traditional white tongue. Is it gonna get more dirty than this one? Yes, I can just probably go ahead and attest to that. It will. With the actual toe box itself, So I mean, you know, it's okay. It's not anything crazy soft. Like again, I don't measure the quality of the leather against a shattered backboard, because that's not what I have. I do have the Bretto one though, so I usually tend to measure it against that. So it's not terrible. The sides, I'm gonna say this one was more tumbled. I mean, you guys can clearly see that. I would say it was more tumbled on this pair versus this one, but nonetheless, I still think they did a great job on the execution itself. On the inside, you guys see it has the white insole with Nike Air on there, and then we see the tag in there. It's got the QR code 7.5. Now, the interesting thing about it, so with this pair, they came with white laces, and a lot have swiped their laces out, or swapped them out, I should say. But with this pair, it didn't, which I'm a little disappointed in that. But I guess, you know, beggars can't really be choosers in terms of wanting a women's shoe. It's taken a while for, I think, Jordan Brand to really get it right, and sometimes they still miss when it comes to pairs, but you know, we got to give them some patience. It's been a while since women have really gotten it. Now, I will say this, the leather itself are different on my toe boxes. That's kind of interesting. So this one is a lot softer and tumbled versus this one. So I mean, you're probably going to have some quality control issues, 100%. I'm going to say that. This is a lot more smooth. This is a lot more tumbled. This reminds me of that Bretto. So look at that. That's interesting. I didn't necessarily expect that, but hey, learn something new with every single unboxing. And then you just have your standard, you know, shoe trees that are in there. So now when it comes to this release, guys, I had already put the feelers out. Did you hit? Did you miss? People found out about their L's via the Footlocker app pretty early on in terms of reservation. Finish line, apparently they did the whole first come first serve thing. I know that was chaos. People tried to camp out, and mall security, they actually limited the amount of time that people could camp out. So if people did arrive days ahead of time, or even let's say midnight, they were like, hey, you need to leave, you can come back 5 to 6 at a more what they would think reasonable hour. But I think it's cool to see the fact that we have people so interested in a shoe that they are willing to camp out for. I know a lot have, you know, really lobbied that they want to go back to those camp out days, which that shows a lot of effort. That shows that you really want it. Now, you could want it to rock it, you could want it to resell it. That is part of the game. I think people have to stop being a little bit salty about that, because we know exactly what it is. There are going to be people that pick up a shoe just to resell it. Now, in terms of ladies, we get hot about this because we waited so long to have pairs just for us, and now it can be extremely difficult if a lot of resellers or bots are buying them up, and then we may have to go on the secondary market, whether it's StockX, GOAT, eBay, or an actual reseller themselves to acquire a pair. I understand that, but for a lot of ladies that have already hit, big ups to you. Happy for you. Rock your pairs or sell them. It's just whatever you want to do. It is your money, but you guys should already know I kept that pair. We've seen the resale price on that. I will be keeping this pair. It will go with so many things. You see this shirt, anything that I have that is that bread style colorway, black, red, and white, I'm excited to rock with it. I have a project that will be in the works where you guys will get to see how it would match with this shoe perfectly, so I can't wait. I got some other gifts on the way in from a brand too, so excited to show you guys a lot of different things on this channel. But we're gonna do what we normally do. We're gonna lace them up, get you some b-roll, get you some on foot, give you a sneak peek of a new sneaker accessory I have. I'll do a whole video on that tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But thank you so much for tuning in to this first look review thoughts on foot of the Air Jordan 1 Retro Satin Black Toe for women. Peace.
If you found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take the hit and still finish in one, yeah, yeah. That too far away from our hearts, yeah, yeah. The ones we keep close, we should never let go. So tell me who you love, baby. Take a moment to unwind, fix yourself and realign yourself with the world, baby. Breathe slow, baby, yeah. Ooh.